Okay guys, we're next gen ready. Today's video is an unboxing of this 55-inch TV from LG. It's a NanoCell 4K AI ThinQ UHD Smart TV. So right up front, I just want to mention that this video is a little extemporaneous. I really had less prep time in the making of this video compared to my other videos. The reason being is that this TV just came in earlier today and I didn't really have too much time to spare and I can't really wait to plug it in and use it. So that's the reason of the sudden need to really shoot this unboxing video to share with you guys. So this TV is something I ordered back in December 20, and as of the making of this video, it's already December 2. Okay, so I ordered this, November 20, back in November 20, and I got it December 2. So that's a total of 12 days. So it got shipped and fulfilled a lot later. There were delays, but I'm happy it is already here right now. So this TV is something I ordered online from Best Buy. This was a really good steal at $200 off discount. It came in with the Black Friday deals, Black Friday prices, so $200 off. So what I got is the 55 Nano86. So it shows as Nano86. In other regions of the world, like in the US or I believe in Europe, it's marketed as Nano85. But here in Canada, where I'm currently at, it's Nano86. What I got is the 55-inch model, 55 Nano86. The 55-inch, compared to the 49-inch, like the lower spec model, there's only $100 difference. So might as well upgrade and hashtag never settle. So the next version, larger than this one, the next version up, the 65-inch, it's a lot more expensive. So more than $100 difference. It's already costing more than $1,000. And that's really not practical for the space I have. And also the price is a lot more. So this is what I decided to get, the 55-inch. I got it on $200 off. Okay, so before the actual unboxing, and like with the rest of my videos, I will go into the part where I blabber on with a lot of product history, product detail, and product specifications. Okay, we're gonna start now and really detail and break down each and every spec that makes this TV next gen. And hopefully in my detailed breakdown, I could also share with you what those specs mean and how it means for next gen gaming and entertainment in general. So the first specification I really want to talk about is that this TV, it's a smart TV with WebOS support. So web operating system, WebOS. So what that is that it makes it so that this TV is really interacting very well with an easy to understand and easy to navigate user interface. So it's app based, so grids, it's easy and straightforward enough to control and access, play, and control. It also has this support for all these virtual assistants. You have your Google Assistant, Alexa, and if you're into the Apple ecosystem, it has Apple AirPlay, Apple HomeKit. It also has all these apps pre-built like Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, Apple TV, Disney Plus, Hulu, Vudu. Okay, so nothing really unique and to stand out from the other smart TVs available in the market, but it's here nonetheless. So going back to the Google's Assistant support and WebOS, Virtual Assistant and WebOS. So being smart, like a smart TV, and having Google Assistant support is something I really appreciate and try to maximize as much as I can. So with how I've been setting up my own place, my room, and the house, I'm really into the smart and automation kind of living. So as much as I can, I try to go with hands-free and voice commands. So something I can really demonstrate right now is like the Christmas tree behind me. So I have it plugged in with a smart switch and hooked up to Google Assistant. So, hey Google, turn on Christmas lights.
Sure, turning Christmas lights on.
Okay, Google. Hey Google, turn off Christmas lights.
Got it, turning Christmas lights
Okay,
on.
so that level of autonomy, voice control, hands-free switching, power on, power off, is something I'm really into. And hopefully this same TV has that same functionality, being able to interact with Google Assistant through voice commands. So that's it for this one being a smart TV with WebOS support. The next thing I want to talk about is that this TV also has HDR built in, or HDR functionality, has that HDR feature. What is HDR? HDR means high dynamic range. So it has something to do with color. Actually, it has everything to do with color and picture quality. So what HDR is that it makes your picture, the scene, have darker blacks and whiter whites. So it gives the scene, the picture, better color. It makes it that the the scenes that you see really pop and are more vibrant. So the color detail has a wider range. So that's what HDR is. Everything about color, the picture, the clarity of the picture or the scene being projected in your TV screen. So next thing is that the next feature, the next specification I want to touch on is that it is a 4K TV. It's a 4K display. So what is 4K? So 4K means 4,000 pixels. So let me try to explain it in simple terms. So in a TV, you have dimensions. You have your horizontal and vertical dimensions, like length and width. So in your horizontal plane, it's divided into several pixels. So there's a number of pixels separating this horizontal plane as well as this vertical plane. So pixel count, those are little units of color or picture that makes up the whole scene, makes up the whole picture. So the more number of pixels that you have, the better resolution being shown by your TV. So 4K, that's really a lot of pixels. That dimension is really high comparatively. So how it stacks up compared to others industry standards or other baselines is you start with your SD or standard definition, which is capped at 480 pixels. Next up, higher to that one, you have your HD or your high definition. That's 720 pixels. So one dimension of the screen or one dimension of the movie, the show, or the scene has around 720 pixels. Next up, higher than the HD, you have your FHD or full HD, full high definition. That one has 1080p or 1080 pixels. So higher than the full HD, you're going into the UHD territory, so ultra high definition. You have your 2K and your 4K. So 2K, that's around 1440p, and your 4K, which is 3840 by 2160 pixels. So your length and width has 3840 and 2160 pixels. So you may ask, like, why 4K? Where's the 4000 in that one? So it is what it is. That's just marketing bullshit from your hardware manufacturers. They really like to round up. So 3840, they just rounded up to 4K. So it's easier to follow. So 2K than 4K. So higher than 4K, and like the bleeding edge of technology that we are currently at, you have your 8K, which is really not yet affordable right now for your average consumer. And you don't really have a lot of content, a lot of movies, a lot of files that display natively at 8K. So we're good at 4K right now. 4K is where the industry is currently producing content. 4K 3840 by 2160. That's the number of pixels your output device projects. 4K. So that's the 4K. It's all about resolution, how much detail you see in the scene, in the picture, in your TV screen. So next specification I want to share with you guys and want to discuss is that this TV has a refresh rate of 120 Hertz. So what is refresh rate? Refresh rate is the number of times the picture changes in a unit of time. So 120 Hertz or 120 milliseconds, in a unit of time, which is like a second, the picture changes 120 times. So it's the same thing with resolution. The higher, the better. The higher refresh rate, the better, the more smooth the picture transitions in a scene. So if you're watching something, a higher refresh rate will make it seamless and you don't really see the picture changing from a unit of time before to a unit of time in the future. So better scene transition, smoother scene changing. So that's refresh rate. So this one has 120 milliseconds or 120 hertz refresh rate. So having shared refresh rate and resolution earlier, like with 4K, resolution and refresh rate, that is where the industry is pushing the limits of entertainment and gaming. So that's how what you always will hear in the next gen games or in hardware devices like TV monitors and gaming consoles, computer screens, as well as in your everyday mobile devices such as the mobile phones. So for the longest time, TVs and computer monitors, they're just capped at 60 frames per second. Then suddenly you're seeing a lot of 120 hertz refresh screens being pulled out. Okay, before that one, there were the 75 hertz screens, then 120, 140 hertz to 40 hertz screens. So TVs, they right now where it's currently at, they're having a lot more 120 hertz refresh rate screens. So that's refresh rate and resolution. Same thing, that's where the industry is pushing towards. So that's where they're improving generation by generation. They're improving the resolution as well as the refresh rate. Okay, so the last thing, and maybe the most important thing that makes this LG NanoCell AI ThinQ 55 Nano 86 Smart TV truly next gen is that this one supports HDMI 2.1. HDMI 2.1. So what is HDMI? It's high definition multimedia interface. So that's industry standard for the proprietary technology that allows transmission of data. So an input device such as like a projector, a laptop, a cell phone, a console, a gaming console, they will process whatever picture, whatever video, whatever game. That's the input, and they will connect and transfer those data through the HDMI cable connected to this output device, like a TV or a computer display, a computer screen, and this one will output whatever was fed into it, whatever data was transferred. So what HDMI 2.1 does is that it allows for more and faster data transfers. How fast? It's actually 48 gigabits per second, kind of fast. So how it compares to what it was previously, HDMI 2.0, the HDMI 2.0 only transmits or transfers data at 18 gigabits per second. So HDMI 2.0, 18 gigabits per second compared to HDMI 2.1, which transmits at a rate of 48 gigabits per second. So that's data transfer speeds 3 times as fast compared to the previous generation. So HDMI 2.1 support in TVs is something you don't really see a lot in the marketing of appliance companies like Best Buy, The Source, or whatever, and furniture companies. It's something that's slowly being rolled out, and it's something you won't really always find in a spec sheet. So how they're going about is they're just presenting you with all these big numbers of 4K, 8K, HDMI, UHD, HDR, but they're really being silent about the HDMI support, HDMI 2.1 support. So if you're going for the next gen consoles such as a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, you would want something that has HDMI 2.1. How that really makes your gaming experience so much better compared to a TV that doesn't have it is that it will allow you to natively have both good and high resolution as well as a smoother refresh rate. So you can output and play your games with how the game developers really intended the game experience to be. So you can play your Spider-Man Miles Morales game at a 4K resolution, 4000 pixels, and 120 hertz refresh rate. Okay, I mean, sorry, 60 hertz refresh rate or 120. So you will have your good resolution as well as your smoother refresh rate compared to a TV which only has HDMI 2.0. Yes, you can project it at 4K, but you would have to sacrifice the refresh rate, the smoother picture changing. Okay, so if you have a TV that has HDMI 2.1 support as well as a compatible console, like next-gen consoles, which outputs at which is HDMI 2.1 support as well, then you have the best of both worlds. Okay, so that's it about the HDMI 2.1 as well as all the different specs regarding this one. Okay, I hope I really made it easy to understand and make you appreciate how this one really is ready for next gen. Okay, so thank you for staying with me through all that tech talk. Okay, we're now actually going into the unboxing of this one, actually opening it and seeing the content inside.